Radio has been important in our communication for a little while now, a long time.
Let's see what's coming up inside your first hour. Weather Watch, followed by In Case You Missed It.
It's been important in terms of connecting communities, keeping people informed during a disaster. The reliability of radio is still very strong. People depend on radio during a disaster when everything else is not working.
People look to us. They trust us because we are the national station. So in the event of a disaster, if a disaster is approaching, the public will sooner switch to us, to turn to ABS radio. What we say or do can influence people. Whether save their lives, right? Save their property, especially during a disaster, what to do, what not to do, if there's a problem, where to go, the shelter. They listen to us for that information. In years past, during disasters, our station usually goes down. And it's because of our transmitter site. At the highest peak in Antigua Barbuda, at Buggy Peak, the service will go down. So that happened in the past. Recently, we'll be able to stay on air during the passage of hurricanes. The last hurricane, I was overseas and I could listen online to ABS radio broadcasting through to the hurricane. So we did make some improvements.
Over the years, the main disaster that really swept through this valley is mainly by hurricanes and bushfire. Some of these disasters, when they do pass through, we have landslides. We do have persons marooned in different areas because I think from the land slippage, sometimes we have road that break away and stuff like that. We have houses sometimes that are destroyed. You know, sometimes some of them may be washed away. Sometimes normally the phone line go down, so we have to find alternative routes to try and access these areas. So we could actually see what's going on and talk with persons. Sometimes the alternative route is so dangerous that not everyone try to use them. You know, we find like one or two brave persons that will access these routes and get back some form of information and to the other side of the community.
CBU has been around more than 5 decades, and its focus has always been on building the capacity of the media sector throughout the region. And we have seen, particularly in the past 10 years, that the focus on disaster risk reduction has to be made both by the media sector and for the media sector. I would say the trainings that we've been able to do with UNESCO, with UNDRR, with Caribbean Climate Change Center, supported by the EU and other partners, I think bringing all of these together has given us quite a measure of success.
Members of staff has gone in training. I myself went to a training in Jamaica. It was eye-opening. Because we have been through so many disasters. We think that we have a knack of how to report and so on, but they're the do's and don'ts, what you can do or should do during disasters. And at that workshop, we got a program on how to report on disasters before, after, and during disasters.
UNESCO intervention has been an historical moment within the Charlestown Maroon community because over the years we have always wanted to have a media center. Right now we're looking on actually having a media house where we can actually stream from, you know, and actually looking forward to get transmitted that we can really successfully communicate with the wider community.
Because we've been a part of the UNESCO programs, the training, the capacity building, it is creating that awareness for us here at Starcom Network. We've made it a priority to identify at-risk groups and to ensure that our airwaves, we make our airwaves available to engage them, whether we're giving information, whether we're going into the communities to help to educate on what is happening and so forth.
The networks of media professionals who are interested in this area has been built. So folks know that there are colleagues in Trinidad and Tobago that they can reach out to on particular issues, colleagues in Belize they can reach out to on other issues. And I think that peer-to-peer networking among the media professionals, while not one of the immediate goals of the capacity building, has been one of the excellent unintended outcomes of this.
When the volcano erupted in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we sent a reporter down as well to capture what was happening, again, how the disaster was impacting on St. Vincent and how the recovery process was going. Again, we saw that as our duty. So it's almost becoming now something that we don't think about, we know we have to do as part of how we put that emphasis on disaster risk reduction.
We got some equipment from UNESCO, with an alert system, and we could broadcast notices from the National Office of Disaster Services through that alert system. So I think that really enhanced our communication with the public. They can turn to us to get the pertinent information, what to do when a disaster is approaching, or where to go for shelter, numbers available to call if you have a problem, especially the disaster risk areas, the low-lying areas. They can get in contact with the disaster services through us, or they can listen to the alert system broadcast, which comes over the radio periodically, and they can be informed.
In particular, Radio in a Box is something that we've been gifted with from UNESCO funding, and I think we, along with Turks and Caicos, we've been fortunate to be able to make use of the Radio in a Box. Now, what that does is it strengthens that contingency planning that we spoke about. Of course, we know that if your site goes down, if those transmitters are impacted, then it passed the broadcast. And so what we've done in terms of strengthening our contingency is we be able to deploy Radio in a Box in that way, because again, we want to be able to stay on air to continue to be that reliable source of information. It's important now more than ever.
People, when we have disaster, would go from house to house to find out what's happening. And with the Radio Box capability of recording an audio, translating it to text as well, people can get both WhatsApp messages as well as text messages, because not everyone will have internet for data during the disaster.
So I think that right now that we are ready and we are well versed to report on disasters whenever it comes our way. We are ready because of our past experiences, and then the support from the UNESCO with equipment and so on, that we're ready to report on any disasters that is approaching.